joining us as we officially kick off the 2025 Cricket Celebration Bowl, the championship stage for HBCU football. Joining us today is head coach for South Carolina State, the MEAC champion, Coach Chennis, as well as defensive back Jared Washington and wide receiver Jordan Smith. So we'll start with questions for our student athletes first, and then we'll move on to questions for Coach Berry. We'll maneuver the microphone around to make sure everybody has an opportunity to get a question in. So we'll start here with you, Coach Berry.
Hey, good morning, fellas. First, I got my first question to the players is, what is the culture like in terms of Coach Chennis Berry and what he's built at South Carolina State, and what attracted you guys to come play for him and, ultimately find success finding your way to the Celebration Bowl today?
Really, first off, it starts with discipline. Everything we do, we have to be disciplined in our program. It really just goes back to dig deep. It's discipline, integrity, God, dedication, effort, and execution, and pride. It's just the morals of our program.
Like you said, piggyback on film, those are our principles in this program. And for me, I've always been in South Carolina State. So when he came in and just, I saw the culture, I wanted to just be a part of it, and just stay put.
Good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations on all your success so far. Talk a little bit about, this is for the student athletes and then coach. Talk about what it means to represent the MEAC and South Carolina State and get back to Atlanta. You're looking for 2 out of 3.
Let me just make sure you mention your name and your media affiliation.
James Hill with James Hill Sports.
Sure thing.
It means everything to us in South Carolina State. We know the Bulldog country is definitely rooting for us, and they'll be deep tomorrow here. But last year we fell short, but this year we're looking to have a better outcome. We'll be ready.
But I would say the piggyback on what he said, we're the Bulldogs. We got a legacy to our belt, so come up here with one on our mind, ready to win.
Bulldog Nation, man, it's infectious when you become a part of it. Our objective doesn't change. It's a 1-0 mindset. It's a new season, new team. But we can't worry about last year. We got to focus on this year and this team. And this team is built for this moment. We went through some adverse moments this year, and we never wavered. We stayed true to our process and what we're all about. And I'm grateful to be the head football coach of this program, and I'm excited to see the young men go out and execute on this upcoming Saturday.
Let me follow up with a question for the athletes. Was there a game or games where you guys saw things kind of came together for this football team?
I'm gonna be honest, really our loss. Charleston Southern, we went in there thinking we had the game already won, had a bad mindset. So then when we lost, it kind of brought everybody together and shaped the brotherhood we have right now as a program. It kind of brought us real close, like closer than you guys would expect. And it's really, I'm grateful we kind of lost, kind of bad to say, but it helped us, Sometimes you got to take a step back, take a couple steps forward.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on film. Definitely, it changed our momentum and our focus. We had to regain our focus and just get back to our principles and mundane things that we do every day. Just to go 1-0, whether that's in the classroom, whether that's on the field, whether that's our meetings. That's about it.
Right behind. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Rick Henry, WSTV, Columbia. This is for the players. Like during the preseason and during the season, how much talk was there between the players about getting back here and finish the business that you started last year?
Well, we start with the end in mind. Well, for my first meeting, we start with the end in mind. We don't talk about it no more after that. We just focus on chopping wood and carrying water and doing the mundane things that, that we do every day to go 1-0 in everything we do.
We all want, have the end goal, come in here and win it. But it really just begins with, we're a process-oriented team, so all we do is worry about the process and just keep on, just the everyday things, make sure we're doing it right.
Sure thing. Are there any other questions for our athletes from the meeting?
Back here.
Yeah, Ernest Robinson, South Carolina State Bulldog Football Radio Network, Chennis Berry Show. This question is for Jordan Smith. Jordan, take us through your career with the previous coach. You were behind a couple of really good athletes. And last year, you were behind a couple of other really good athletes that both of them top receivers in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Take us through your career and your perseverance with sticking to it, staying with the program, and accomplishing everything you've accomplished this year.
Absolutely. 2021, I came in as a freshman. That was the year we won the Celebration Bowl. And then going through that, I was just progressing and developing as a player, as a young man. When the time is right, God will tell you when the time is right. And this year, the time is right. The time is now. It's my time to shine. So it's just been a blessing, just being a part of this program. I couldn't ask for a better program to be a part of.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jordan, well, for the players, but specifically, Jordan, you said you were here in 2021. You won the celebration with Coach Buddy Pugh, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what have you shared? I'm sorry, I'm Chad Frazier at ABC Columbia, back in town. What have you shared with this group about what it takes to finish the job, and what lessons has this group learned from last year's loss that you guys are carrying over into this game to get over the hump?
I think one of the lessons that we probably learned from last year was don't let the moment get too big. We've been here before, and it's pretty simple. We just got to continue to do what we do, follow in love with the process of want to know every day, and then following our principles of the program. So,
Yes, sir. Back there in the back.
Thank you. Jared Parker, Watch Fox Sports, Columbia. This one's also for Jordan. Jordan, you played for a couple coaches with great resumes on their list, but it sounds like you've picked up a couple of Berryisms we hear from you here in the press conference. What kind of impact has Coach Berry made on you throughout your career?
man, Coach Berry's been great. Not only just as a coach, but like as a leader. He's shaped me into the young man I am today. Just by listening to him every day, you hear the stuff that he talks about, and you kind of just take that with you. He's been great. Couldn't ask for a better coach.
Sure thing. We'll go with Mr. Williams down here.
Luke Williams from Black College Sports Page. How you guys doing this morning?
Good. How you doing?
Sorry I'm late. What's the difference in Coach Berry and Coach Pugh? You played for both of them. Just give us some Pugh'isms. Berryisms. Are they the Pugh'isms?
Coach Pugh, he come to the locker room. Barry, you ain't out there on time. His mind already made up. So, it's definitely two different types of personalities from the coaches, but they mean well and they demand what they want. So.
Are there any other questions for our athletes? Thank you all very much. I will start with some opening remarks from Coach Chennis Berry. This South Carolina State team, they come in with a 9-3 record, perfect 5-0 in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Coach Berry?
Go Dogs.
Opening remarks.
Go Dogs. It's a great day to be here to represent South Carolina State University Bulldog football program, man. I tell you, we're super excited to be back. We're focusing more on this year's team. Last year's team was a total different team. So again, we don't want to keep replaying back on last year. Again, last year was last year. This is 2025. We're focused on 2025. Our guys learn. When we lose, we learn in our program, and we learn a lot of lessons. I think this team right here is definitely built for this moment. We've been here before. There's so much adversity we even went through this season, just putting a new team together. Those that don't know, we only returned one offensive starter from last year's team. We only returned two defensive starters. So it was a completely new team, 32 transfers, 12 high school guys. We really had to cultivate 44 newcomers. And guys, at the end of the day, it comes down to buy-in. Believing in the process, fall in love with the process of how we do things. We're very process-oriented, super grateful for where we sit today as the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference representation to be able to try to go 1-0 and represent not only for South Carolina State University, but the MEAC Conference as well. So it's a great day to be a Bulldog. Super excited to be here. And again, I'll open it up for any questions.
We'll start here with Perry.
All right, Perry White with On the Yard Network and the Jaguar Journal 107.3 in Baton Rouge. Coach Barry, your team is exciting to watch in terms of offense, explosive plays. You tried to figure it out at the quarterback position. Seemed like you did as the season went on. Defense is stingy, and you're not afraid to be aggressive on special teams. Talk about the identity of this team, and as the year went on, what did you learn that was your strength and what you figured out about your weaknesses?
Tell you what, more than anything, first of all, recognizing that got a great staff, man. Guys that really have bought into the program as well. We put plans together. You got to plan your work, then you got to go work your plan. And, we want to be aggressive in all that we do, not only just offensively, defensively, and special team. We have an attack mindset, and that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. But, our young men, I tell you what, it's just been fun to watch them because they're a very resilient bunch. Nothing really rattles them. I mean, we had to go into hostile territories all year. I mean, we went to the University of South Carolina and played well for 30 minutes. We needed to play well for 60 minutes, but we played well for 30 minutes. Went down to the University of South Florida, played well against those guys for 30 minutes. But we had to find out who we were. Once we took that loss to Charleston Southern, things started going in the right direction, all right, because it humbled us and made us more hungry, all right? And at the end of the day, we've won, I believe, 7 straight from that point because we fall in love with the process. And when we had to go to secure the MEAC, if you think about it, we had to go on the road twice. We had to play against a really good North Carolina Central football team in their backyard, and we never wavered. We jumped up on them. Those guys came back. All right, they took the lead, but our guys never blinked. Again, they're built for these type of moments. We had to go to Dale State to secure it against a really good Dale State football team. And we had to do the same thing in those same moments. So I believe this team is built for this moment. They're excited about this moment. Our preparation for this moment has been great. We always in our program talk about the separation is in the preparation. We respect every opponent that we play. We're playing against a really good Prairie View A&M football team. They got a really good, well-disciplined, well-coached football team. But we just fall in love with the process. And our process is the separation and the preparation. How we prepare is how we'll go play on this upcoming Saturday.
Mr. Hill.
James Hill with James Hill Sports.
Bring the microphone over there to you.
Thank you. James Hill with James Hill Sports. Coach, this venue, this location, this platform, talk a little bit about what it does for not only for HBCU, but for those who get an opportunity to see it a little bit better, a little bit more up and close on a stage like Atlanta inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
First of all, this is an unbelievable event, first-class event. The experiences that our young men get an opportunity to partake in once they arrive here on Wednesday has been first class. I mean, we started off with a financial literacy program that our young men really got an opportunity to ask questions with people of Truist Bank. Then we had an opportunity to go do at the World of Coca-Cola, where we had a little celebration for the guys. They got a chance to tour that place. We got a chance to tour College Football Hall of Fame. All right, we got an opportunity to sit with all former NFL guys and talk about not only the game of football, but the game of life. And then last night we finished it with a great event, kickoff dinner. It was at the College Football Hall of Fame, so it was a great experience for our young men. But I tell them the experiences are great, okay? But at the end of the day, the ball's going to kick off at 12 noon on this upcoming Saturday. Our focus, the main thing, is to try to find a way to go 1-0 on Saturday. All right, so our focus now, because we call it in our program Focus Fridays. So Focus Friday, the mindset, all the glitz and the glamour and all that stuff is over now. Now it's time to focus on the game. Now, when you talk about playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, what a great venue. All right, but guess what? At the end of the day, the field is 100 yards long, 3 1/3 wide. It's a football field, and it's our opportunity to go execute for 60 minutes. That's what it's going to come down to. We can have all these speeches and all these talks, but it's going to come down to executing the plan. You plan your work and you work your plan. And really, how we've been preparing the last couple of weeks. We've been practicing at 12 noon because we're a morning outfit. So we practice in the morning. All right, but we start getting those bodies acclimated to 12 noon. So the last couple of weeks, we've been practicing at 12 noon. So our bodies can be moving at 12 noon. Also, our practices over the last 3 weeks, because we hadn't played a game since November the 22nd, we've been having some physical practices. We've been practicing like we're preparing for a game. And that's why I can't wait to see these guys go play on this upcoming Saturday. They're prepared for this moment. They're excited about this moment. Great leadership. Guys are really, really locked in and focused, and they're going to go out there and play confident.
In the back there.
Stand back to NCAA.com. Coach, you mentioned that you guys had some time off from your last game. It was the same situation last year. What lessons did you learn throughout that preparation process last year that you can take into preparation this year?
So those were some of the things that I'll reiterate on. So last year, we practiced in the morning. We went at 9 a.m. through those weeks. We changed that body started taking a nap at 12 noon. That was what we did last year. Last year, because we were so banged up, we did a lot of walkthroughs for those 3 weeks, trying to get healthy to get to this moment. Well, this year's been totally different. We've got that body acclimated to 12 noon, where we've been getting out there for about 2 hours on every day since we've been doing this. And now we've been doing a lot of situations, third down, red zone, physical, inside drill, all the things that prepared us, that got us to this moment. We're not going to change anything in our process that got us here. And as opposed to last year, that was my first year here. So I really didn't understand how to get that 3-week gap between the last game until we play in a championship game. So we fixed some things. We meet, we talk about it, and then we go out and execute it in practice. So really that's what it's all about. And I've been really enjoying watching our guys practice over the last 3 weeks, and I think they're prepared for this moment.
Thank you, Mr. Beckman. Mr. Williams?
Luke Williams from the Black College Sports Page. Coach,
Yes, sir.
not making, that's last year's team, but what happened last year was your team was out physical, let's say.
Mhm.
You didn't run the ball well. I think you had even minus yards total running the ball. What have you done to address that? Is that part of what you're talking about with the practices and the physical practices? Is that part of it?
Absolutely. We were not pleased with how we ran the football at all. I think we had 19 carries for like 30 yards. That's not who we are. All right. That team did a good job of stopping the run. So we've been putting emphasis on being able to run the football. Any championship program, you got to be able to run the ball and you got to be able to stop the run. All right. That's very, very important. So we've been putting the emphasis of that. And our guys understand that. At the end of the day, they got to go out and execute it. So you're right. We didn't do a very good job in those areas, but we fixed those deals. And we'll pay attention to that and make sure that we can go out and execute that this upcoming Saturday.
All right, Coach, to the game this weekend. Prairie View comes in, winner of the SWAC. Their defense is ranked in the top 5 of FCS. What do you see with Coach Tremaine Jackson's defense on film that could possibly be some problems for you guys in your offense?
Tell you what, very well coached football team. They're disciplined and they do good at what they do. You know, at the end of the day, they have some guys up front that do a good job. The crux of the matter of those guys, they do a really good job on the back end. All right, they have a Mike Backer that does an outstanding job. They have a nickel that does, he's probably between their Mike Backer and their nickel, that's their 2 leading tacklers. And they got a boundary corner that's pretty impressive. You know, he does a good job. So they do a really good job. That's the reason why they're here. All right, they're the SWAC champions. They're representing the SWAC. They did a great job in their conference. And that's why when you get in these moments, championship games, I tell our guys, man, the biggest thing we learned through it all, in the game of football, good things going to happen, keep playing. Bad things going to happen, keep playing. Go play the next play. It's a championship game. They're going to make some plays, all right? But so are we. So we got to stay in the moment when we're playing against a really good Prairie View football team, and their defense is really, really special. And like you say, they're leading the nation in the top 5 of the nation in a lot of defensive statistical categories. So we'll have our hands full. I think we're prepared for this moment.
Rick Henry, WIS-TV. Coach Bird, you're in a rather unique situation compared to any coach at any level of college football in the nation, in that you have 2 former coaches that have won national championships that are around you in the program all the time. What's that been like? Like when you first got there, was it intimidating at all? And has it evolved into more of a nurturing relationship?
I tell you what, it's been outstanding. I get an opportunity to be around 2 of the living legends in not only HBCU football, but college football in general. All right, pioneers, trendsetters. And again, if you know anything about me, man, I really have respect for I wouldn't be here today if the old school didn't pave the way. So we have guys like Coach Pugh that I get the opportunity because he's not only a legendary coach here, he's also my boss, all right? He's the AD, so I got a great situation. I get a chance to walk 2 doors down and talk to him every day, and we have an unbelievable relationship. But one thing I love about Coach Pugh, he never presses anything on me. He lets me run the program the way I want to run the program. He gives me advice. I go down the hall. He pours into me. He's always around where he can come out every now and then. He'll come out, check out practice, but it's been great. And to have Coach Jeffries, man, to be able to just see him. I see him every Thursday at our Orangeburg Touchdown Club. So much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much information that they're able to give me. So I'm in a great situation, man. I get a chance to be around 2 living legends almost every day. You know, Coach Pugh every day, and then I see Coach Jeffries about once a week. So all in all, I'm in a great situation. But again, it's my opportunity. It's a clean sheet of paper when I first got here. And it was up to me to write my own story. And I've had an opportunity to write my own story. And I tell you what, I'm just grateful to be around so much wisdom that I get an opportunity to pour. It pours into our program each and every day.
Are there any other questions from our summer media? Well, once again, we want to thank you all for your attendance and presence.
Just want to remind media members that your credentials will be at gate 1, starting at 4 o'clock today, if you have not already received your credentials. We had the band of the year tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock, if you were credentialed for that. If not, we will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Credential pickup from 10:30 to 12 tomorrow.